Okay, when we're dealing with differential equations, one of the things that will be asked in the example is, if you have a function, will it be a solution of the differential equation or the derivative of that function? So in this question it says, is y equals x squared e to the x a solution of x times y prime minus 2y, which is equal to x cubed times e to the x? So the first thing we want to do is, in this particular derivative function, we want to solve for y prime. So we're going to isolate y prime by adding 2y to both sides and then dividing it by x. Now we divide the first term by x, and then if you notice the second term is 2y, but at the beginning of the question we're going to substitute what y represents, which is x squared e to the x. So we're going to substitute that in for y. And so simplifying x cubed divided by x leaves you with y prime, which is equal to x squared e to the x. And then here we substitute in for the value of y, and we can eliminate one of the x variables here. So what we end up with was y prime, which is equal to x squared times e to the x plus 2 times x e to the x. Now the second step is, we want to take that derivative function and then substitute what we can substitute from at the beginning of the problem. So again, if this is our derivative function, well then we're going to go back to asking whether this is a solution of the derivative function. So we need to plug whatever y is into the derivative function. So we're no longer going to have 2y, it's going to be 2 times x squared e to the x. And then over here, we solve for y prime, so we're going to substitute y prime to be what we got here, which is x squared e to the x plus 2x e to the x. So we're going to distribute the x. When we distribute the x and then subtract x cubed e to the x to both sides, we are able to then eliminate those two terms. So now we end up with 2x squared e to the x, which is equal to 2x squared e to the x. Divide both sides by 2. Regardless, they're both equal to each other, which tells us that this is a solution to the derivative function.